Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to Revenue Growth Live with Daryl Amy. I am here to help great companies grow revenue, and we're going to have a fantastic conversation today about sales, marketing, strategy, and all things related to growth. So welcome to the conversation today. I'm glad you're here, and we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. In fact, what we're going to talk about today are the two core numbers that every business owner, sales leader, sales rep, marketing manager, everyone should be focused on these two core numbers. And I'm excited to share those with you as we roll things out today. And as we get started, I want to just say a shout out to everybody. I've had fun interacting with you on Facebook, on YouTube. You can find us there. We're working on getting on LinkedIn Live. And so it's exciting. And I really am excited about the vision, the direction, the passion, the creativity, all the things I see going on right now in companies that are committed to creating the future. And I believe that sales and marketing professionals, as we get creative, as we bring our best selves to the table, as we work hard, we are going to be the ones to pull our companies, our cities, and even our nations out of the ditch of the challenges we've been facing here recently with the COVID crisis. So I'm glad that you are here, and I'm glad that you are committed to helping companies grow, whether it's your own company or the company you work for, or even a nonprofit. This is a time for us to get creative. And as we always like to say at Revenue Growth Engine, let's get going and let's get growing, right? Let's grow. And if you're listening in live, hit us up in the comments. Love to chat. Any questions you have as we go. And then also, if you're watching later, love for you to hit subscribe, share this. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we're coming at you live with fresh ideas that you can use to grow your revenue. And that's what it's all about. As we get started today, too, I just want to say a huge thanks to John Golden from Pipeliner. We had a very practical conversation that was released on the Revenue Growth Podcast last Wednesday about the power of automating your sales process, the power of looking and going, how can we automate this? How can we make it more predictable, more measurable? And thus, you can't manage what you can't measure. You can't improve what's not already mapped out. And I thought that conversation with John Golden was extremely powerful. And if you lead a sales organization, you're really going to want to listen to it. In fact, even if you're a solopreneur or a sales rep, I think you're going to get a lot out of my conversation with John. So today, what I want to talk about is the two core numbers that every business owner, marketing leader, sales leader, and sales professional needs to know and track to drive growth. And it's based on this model right here. And I'm going to share my iPad. In fact, we'll just go full screen with this. It's based on this model of saying that really, if you boil it all down, there are only two ways and two ways only to grow your business. And that is by driving net new revenue, getting more customers, or cross-selling more to your current clients. And really, this is it. I mean, if you think about all your revenue sources, it's one of the two. And it was interesting. This morning, I was on the phone with on a Zoom with a financial services company. They're in the financial services space, and they're looking for how to grow. And they quoted a stat from Fidelity. And they said for every dollar, see if we can get this going here, for every dollar under management, there are $7 that could be under management. In the investment world, for every dollar an investment company manages, there's $7 that the investment company could manage. What does that mean? For every dollar that they bring in net new business, there's 7 times as much revenue available for cross-selling. And that's what's really, really exciting when you think about your business. What is the revenue potential for cross-selling additional products, services, and solutions to your clients? And so when you look at this and you realize, and by the way, and we say this on regularly on the Revenue Growth Podcast and Revenue Growth Live, if you look at these two ways to grow business, net new and cross sell, most companies are usually good at one or the other. You know, if you think about your own company, right? Most companies are really good. They've got a great sales force. We can get new deals, and they've grown their company based on their strength of their net new business. Or maybe they've got a great lead generation program. Maybe they've got a very strong inbound marketing motion, and they're generating all kinds of net new business. Fantastic. Other companies seem to be really good at cross-selling more to their current client base. They're just really good at client management. Was working with one company recently to do a revenue growth plan, and they had some clients that had been around for 25 years. Let me tell you this, if you can keep a client for a quarter of a century, you're probably good at managing relationships and cross-selling. But it just so happened this company was really weak at net new. Now, magic things begin to happen when you can drive net new business and cross-sell business simultaneously. And that's where things get really, really exciting. When you take a look at that, at this opportunity to grow your business, right now we've got the opportunity to, if we can get good at both at the same time, we can accelerate growth. And how many of you know we need to accelerate growth right now, right? So let's take a look at this. You remember here I was saying in the financial services business, for every dollar of revenue, there's $7 on the table. Another example, if you're in the IT and technology business, some of our clients sell office equipment. For every dollar that's spent on a piece of office equipment, there might be $20 in services revenue available. So what are the numbers that you need to track to measure this? Let's just zoom in here a little bit. What are the two core numbers you need to track? And both of these numbers, by the way, go into revenue, and they go into your total goal of revenue. So what are the numbers? If you go down one layer, well, net new, let's think about this together. It's actually really simple. How many clients do you have? How many clients do you have? What's your number of clients? And if you have, 100 clients right now, fantastic. If you have 1,000 clients, what's your number of clients? And then when it comes to cross-sell, what is your revenue per client? So for example, if you have 100 clients and your revenue per client is $10,000, what's your total revenue? It's going to be 1 million, right? So what if we can take that revenue, and what if we can grow that revenue? Now, a lot of times, this is a time of year right now where a lot of companies are setting goals, right? How many of you out there right now are setting goals? You're trying to figure out, what are we going to do next year? What's the goal for 2020, 2021, 2022, and beyond? It can feel really daunting trying to set a goal right now, especially in this, uncertain environment. Maybe your revenue dropped this year, and you're trying to figure out, how do we set the goals going forward? Well, these two numbers help you set your goal. Let's go back to our example here, right? Let's say that company has 100 clients and the average revenue per client is $10,000 per year. Well, what's 100 times 10,000? They're a $1 million company. Simple math, right? Now, what if that company can say, you know what? I think with our new sales process we've put in place, our new strategy, we can grow our client base by 20% this year. Okay, great. We're going to hire another rep. We've got a new sales strategy, new prospecting strategy. We can grow by 20%. So now what's that number? 120, right? It's at the end of next year. And they say, you know what? If we got strategic in cross-selling more products, services, and solutions to our current clients beyond our core product, not everyone's going to buy it, but if we could get some of our core clients on board, I bet we could grow our revenue per client by 10% next year. Okay, what's our new revenue per client? 10,000 plus 10%, that's $11,000, right? So what's our new revenue? Well, let me pull out my handy calculator here. 120 clients times $11,000. 120 times 11,000. You probably already did the math, But hey, you're not leading a podcast live. So 1.32 million, right? Wow, look at that. Look at that growth, right? Just from doing some marginal gains in sales and some marginal gains in cross-selling revenue per client. Now take that out, and this is where you can go to the Revenue Growth Engine Toolkit. Just text revenue to 21,000. I actually put together a little spreadsheet tool where you can say, hey, if we grew each one of these areas, number of clients and revenue per client by X%, what would that look like in, say, 3 years from now? And you know what's really interesting? Most companies, if you'll show an average growth rate of 12% in each one of those areas, the math will shows that you can double your revenue in just under 36 months. Now, that's really, really exciting. And what that does, when you know these two numbers, when you know the numbers of clients that you have, number one, how many clients do we have right now? And number two, what is our revenue per client, which is actually simple math. It's just taking that number of clients and dividing it into your revenue. Now, and that can be done revenue per client per year, per quarter, however you want to do that. But the reality is now I've got two numbers I'm tracking. Are we growing our business, number of clients, and are we growing our share of wallet, revenue per client? And if you can track those two numbers, now you've got a model to be able to grow your business. And it was so exciting this morning as I was working with one company. They were pretty good at pulling on net new business. They had a nice cadence of new clients coming on board. They had a very good process and referral program, but they had no processes. I won't say nothing, but very few processes in place to cross-sell their additional products and services to their existing clients. So what was cool about that company, this just gets me fired up because I know this company is good people. They're going to provide great jobs as they grow. They're the type of people that give back to their community. What was really cool is when they put the processes in place to cross-sell more to their existing clients, they've got an unbelievable opportunity for growth. And it just is a matter of focusing at what you're not good at, what you're not strong at, and building processes to make sure that happens. So I want to challenge everyone today, when you look at the growth of your business, and this, by the way, works for Fortune 100 companies, this works for $10 million companies, $100 million companies, and this works for small business and even solopreneurs. It works for sales reps. Just look right now and draw this line in the sand to say, okay, how many clients do we have? How many clients do I have? And what is my revenue per client? And use that as the basis now of setting the goals that you need to grow, and in setting the goals to grow your business, but also use that as the basis of now going, okay, what processes do we need to put in place on the sales and marketing side to drive net new? What processes do we need to put in place on the cross-sell side on how we manage our clients so that we can hit these growth numbers right here, growing our number of clients and growing revenue per client? If you'll stay focused right there, I can promise you two things. First of all, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to grow, because what you measure is what gets managed. And if you stay focused on that number of clients and your revenue per client, your team is just going to be thinking about how do we drive those numbers. The other thing is you're going to know pretty quickly where your company is healthy and where it's not. If you're crushing it in net new, but your revenue per client is flat, now you know where you need to invest some time. And if you're crushing it in growing your revenue per client, but your net new is flat, it's the exact opposite. So I want to challenge you to really give this some thought. And if you want some tools, I actually put my spreadsheet in the Revenue Growth Toolkit on revenuegrowthengine.net. You can go there, or you can just text the word revenue to 21,000, and you can download that spreadsheet and start playing around with, hey, what would happen if we did 12% growth in number of clients and 15% growth, let's say, in revenue per client? And this foundation, this mindset is what you need to get out of the ditch. It's what you need to be able to grow your business. And so this is really, really exciting. So just text revenue to 21,000 or go to Revenue Growth Engine. I'll just put it right here in the chat, .net, and click on the free toolkit. And you'll be able to get access to that right away. All of this is around saying, what can we do to grow net new revenue? What can we do to cross-sell more to our current clients? So take that today. And as an action item, I really would love to hear from you. If you want to comment in the chat, hey, Daryl, we did this, or we're going to do this. If you'd like some help with it, let me know. But the idea is, let's work together and let's figure out what it's going to take to grow revenue. By the way, I'm really excited. One of the things that I'll be doing tomorrow is I get the opportunity to live cast with Larry Levine on the topic, is your sales training broken? And this is going to be a fantastic conversation. You can check this out. And if you're watching this later, let's see, I'll put this in the chat, sellingfromtheheart.net/livecast. If you're watching this after the fact, no worries, that live cast is going to be recorded. So when you go to that site there, the recording will be posted and sent to you. But I've been talking with Larry, and many of you know Larry is my co-host on the Selling from the Heart podcast, where we are equipping sales reps to drive authentic relationships with authentic value. And we have noticed that there are some things about sales training that are kind of broken right now and need to be fixed. So if you want to get into that conversation, check it out, www.sellingfromtheheart.net/livecast. So, hey, everybody, I want to say just a huge thank you to you. I did want to add one more thing, though, that I really found today that I thought was a really great article. It's actually a how-to guide from LinkedIn. Tip of the hat to LinkedIn. And many of you know I drive conversation all day long through LinkedIn's message center. And it's become a great way to network, especially in a world where we're not going to conferences live. We're not traveling as much as we used to. LinkedIn just put a feature in place that I'm really excited about. It's rolling out right now, where you can actually launch and schedule Zoom meetings and team meetings directly from LinkedIn Messenger. So tip of the hat to LinkedIn. You continue to innovate, and you're creating a tool that is incredibly useful and valuable for all of us. So I just posted that blog article in the chat. Check that out. I think you'll find it's very, very useful. So, but main thing, I want to challenge all of you. What are your two core numbers? How many clients do we have? What's our revenue per client? That becomes your baseline for planning. And once again, whether you own a business, you lead a Fortune 500 company, you're a micro business, a solopreneur, or a sales rep, which is an entrepreneur in a territory, I want you to consider, what are my numbers right now? How many clients do I have? And what's my revenue per client? And then we'll start thinking together about how can we grow that number. I'm really excited. I'm going to be live on a podcast during our normal time on Thursday for Revenue Growth Live. So I'll be coming at you 30 minutes earlier on Thursday, because at our normal time, I will be on the Power Lunch Live with Rhett Power, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. So look for us at, let's see, that'll be 11:30 instead of 12 o'clock Eastern. And that will be 8:30 Pacific time for Revenue Growth Live on Thursday. Until then, as we always say, let's get going